Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass the Move. And for today's episode, we have the game against Juve as promised. Now, of course, it's back-to-back games, not just Juve, but Roma as well. It's going to be a huge clash and a very important time of our season, of course. And we'll have to perform against both of them if we have any hopes of catching up to the Serie A title and potentially winning it. But anyways, as you can tell from the league table, pretty much the same as last time out. I mean, the game we showed you last time was the one against Napoli. It's literally just been, we haven't played any games since, so nothing's really changed in that sense. They have played their game in hand though, and they have jumped ahead of us, so they've done their job. It's up to us to do ours and win today's game to climb back up into second. The good news is though, if we lose here today, we're still in the Champions League spot, so that's decent. But in terms of the Serie A title, if we really want any hopes of stopping Juve from, turning it into a single horse title race, I suppose, then we do have to win today. No exceptions. A draw is not enough, and we do need to win. Whether that's the expectations on us is a different story, but let's try and do our job here today. So we pretty much tried and gone back to how things were of old in the sense of the team. We're trying to play with as many of our first teamers as possible. That's why you can see the team ahead of you or in front of you. Nicola's back on the bench, and he's back from his injury, just not completely sharp enough to start today. We also thrown Lucas back into the side as well. Manuel Locatelli's done decently in Lucas's absence, but of course Lucas is the better midfielder. Riccardo Montolivo continues as Frank Kessie still injured, and Conte, of course. Both players should be back. Well, actually, just Kessie should be back fairly soon, and Conte is going to be back with us within 2 months' time, hopefully. And if he is back within 4 weeks' time, that'll actually suit us a bit better, so we can get rid of one of our right backs. Once Conte is back, we're going to have three in Abate, Calabria, and of course Conte himself. But the expendable player is Abate, and once we get the opportunity to, we'll be moving them on. But anyways, let's kick off in today's game. We've got a bunch to show, so we want to try and get things done as quickly as possible. Hopefully we can get things going by a nice little win against Juve and follow that up with another good performance against Roma. So Juve going with a 4-2-3-1. Hopefully we can exploit their spaces in behind their wingers. Their attacking midfielder in Paulo Dybala will be trying to take advantage of the fact that we don't have any defensive midfielders, but the three-man centre-back pairing should be enough to deal with that threat, especially because our wider centre-backs are both stoppers, so they'll be getting, trying to make sure no one takes advantage of getting in behind Abate and Aaron by pressing them, and at the same time pressing forward. And of course we've got Bonucci on the cover to make sure that he can sweep up any balls in behind. But anyways, we should have enough of our team to take advantage and try and beat this Juve side. We're definitely not playing any necessarily poor side. Players as in, really just the backup options are Aaron, Montolivo, and Silva's considered a backup, but he's actually good enough to be a starter as well. So definitely not short of talent, at least in our trio. So hopefully they can perform for us, and we're definitely looking for revenge, so we're going to go with that team talk. Juve have beat us twice out of our past 2 meetings, and we want to try and not make that 3 times in the same season, and hopefully we can do that today. But the stakes are higher now than they ever were before, so let's see whether we can respond with a result. But Juve are definitely on fire at the moment. I think they pretty much had a poor start to the season similar to us, but they've gone on their own little winning run, and they've proven themselves to be less inconsistent than we've been. But we want to try and put a hole in their plans. Anyways, Abate is doing well here. Goes back to Suso, and they're linking up fairly well in this attack. Suso, really good through ball to Silva. Can he finish? That's definitely a clear-cut chance that Andre Silva should finish. Is it even Andre Silva? I keep forgetting. Yeah, it is Andre Silva. But yeah, he definitely finished it. This is what we want from the inside forwards. They're not only just providing support to Andre Silva, but they're also, because they're creative wide men, they need to be able to find Silva whenever he makes those runs. They cut into the stronger foot, Suso and Bonaventura, and then they play those through balls into Silva, who's going to be making those runs into behind. That's what we want to see more of. We want to encourage those passes into space. Montolivo does that here now with Aaron. The question is, can he deliver across to find Andre Silva? There he is there. Can he finish it though? Ooh, that is a penalty apparently. Can't remember what I did for penalty taking, but it makes sense for Silva to take it. He did win it anyways, so let's see if he can convert it. He has another opportunity, second clear-cut chance of the game. He needs to finish it this time. Sandro gets a nice little yellow card for his troubles. Silva though, straight at Buffon like an idiot, and that's Looks like that's how the game's going to go today by the looks of things. We just have to hope that Juve are as poor as we are in front of goal. But Silva, both clear-cut chances missing it. If we had our clear-cut chances spread across the team a little bit, that'd be better. But yeah, Silva's definitely very capable. Oh, that's a nice little ball. Abate with the overlap's really good. Can he find Silva again? Will he convert in the third try? Silva? No, he won't. Great. So, not looking good. We're really counter-attacking Juve quite well. They've only had one shot. Hopefully Pjanic doesn't convert this. He hasn't. Juventus have the ball plenty, but they haven't created anything dangerous as of yet. We could have easily been 2-0 up. And Silva's definitely going to be the substitution we're going to look to make. If not by half time, then you know, once we can bring on Nicola. I just don't want to risk Nicola. If I bring him on with 45 minutes to go, he might get injured. Poor ball from Silva, really falling apart at this point. And Juve are going to try and get going. Not really a counter-attack, but they're going to try and respond from our loose ball. And that's a really good ball to Matuidi, and even better to Higuain. Is he going to convert? Yes, of course he is. He goes to the near post, which we think our goalkeeper should do a bit better there. Donnarumma, guilty, I suppose. Definitely should be doing better there if you ask me. I don't think it's necessarily a clear-cut chance either. I would say it's a half chance. But Higuain, not necessarily known for his pace. He just runs into the space and he's found by Matuidi. And this is, you know, we've got Musakio doing the right thing by shutting us down. But Lucas really shouldn't be coming across into Montalivo's space, but now that he's done that, that's fine. He's doing the right thing by coming out, but Bonici can't cover in time, and Abate is too worried about his own man. And once he gets into here, we're still decent. Goalkeeper should be coming across. Instead, he just stands in the middle, and Higuain can easily find that post, the inside of the post there, and that's questionable goalkeeping. But at the same time, Bonici should do a bit better on the cover. This is what we're asking him to do. And Juventus leads, and you'd say that they haven't necessarily deserved to lead, I suppose. Anyways, Silva with a 5.9 rating is going to get substituted at half-time. Bonaventura performing not too well either, but everyone else, okay performances. We can definitely step it up a bit. Buffon's got a 7.5 rating, so it looks like we're peppering him with shots, but I think that's kind of just come from the penalty. And, you know, the story could have been very much different if we were just alive to things a little bit more. And maybe if I tell my players off, they'll wake up a bit. So Silva, less than 6 rating always means you're gonna get substituted at half time. Nicola, just back from injury, not a fan of using him, but forced into substitution because of Silva's performance. And you know, Portuguese has a lot to answer for, because it was his opportunity to win a place in the starting 11 with Nicola's absence through injury. He's been out for quite a while, and Silva's been unable to capitalize on that and proven that he's not ready to be a first teamer. I'm pretty sure Nicola would have finished his chances. Hopefully we can still create chances for Nicola, and hopefully can convert them, more importantly, because we've had chances, we just haven't been clinical. And I think Juve are lucky to be 1-0 up, and we do need 2 goals now to have any hopes, and we're not going to get it that way from Lucas. Poor ball. Cuadrado's going all the way. Instead he finds Matuidi, and he goes back to Pjanic. We just have to hold them well. Douglas Costa, we've got players forward. We have to ensure the delivery doesn't come into the box. Can we stop it? Nope. Sandro's there. He's going to find someone. Squares it to Pjanic. Really holding on to possession here. We get the tackle in through Montalivo, but he does it really well to find how it does. Pjanic again. Got a nice little shape to us, but I'm really not a fan of both these players. Both our midfielders closing down. I think I need to ask Lucas to close down less, because he keeps getting into Montalivo's space. But look at how many Juventus players are forward here. Going all out attacking. I mean, they're still not getting that many shots in comparison to us. They're holding on to possession a bit better. We still have the edge in terms of clear-cut chances. So, you know, we're doing really well defensively, but I think we can have a tiny bit better shape in terms of Lucas not coming across into Montalivo's area, I suppose. We are asking him to hold that midfield down, so he has to do a bit better there. Wingbacks are incredibly important, so I might substitute Aaron off. Do we have... no, Ricardo Rodriguez is still injured. Let's take off Bonaventura, it's more important. We'll bring on Hakan and ask Hakan to be an advanced playmaker. And we'll save that last substitution for later, see if we can do anything else of note. Alright, so we've gone kind of quiet in the second half, not necessarily the response I was hoping to see. I think what I want to do is ask my players to pass into space a bit more, because we haven't really done that this half. Did well in the first half when we were passing the ball into space and playing quite freely, but that first goal really knocked the stuffing out of us. Oh, that is a... What? What's going on? Abate's getting sent off? What the hell did he even do? Good God, it's a good thing I saved that third substitution, but that was very disappointing from one of the, people in the dressing room who's supposed to be a leader, and definitely not putting in a leader's performance here. So I have to sacrifice someone, and it's gonna have to be Nicola, but no, not that. What are you doing? Deep line playmaker, we'll take off Lucas. I don't know how we're going to get away with it like this, but I'm going to try. Calabria. Alright. Don't know whether this is necessarily the smartest thing to do, but if we could come away with let's try that. A draw here. This would actually be respectable with 10 men, but the truth is we should definitely have all 3 points on the, secured by now. Unfortunately, Juve are punishing us, and that's all that matters. Let's see if we can do something else. Look to pass into space. We don't want the overlap. We can try and shoot on sight as well to try and help us a bit more. Clear the ball to the flanks might help us a bit too. Quite sure we're going to be fairly defensive at this point, but let's try and go back to how we normally play, I suppose. He's not really advanced playmaker. What have I done? At this point, anything would help. Not enough time though, if you ask me. Calabria's just come on. He's already managed to get a yellow card. I thought we might actually convert from the set piece. There's barely any seconds left, and Montolivo stupidly tries to go for the shot rather than deliver a cross back into the box. And it looks like instead of the Serie A title, we might have to settle for the Champions League. There's still Champions League footballers in. I'd love to win the Champions League title itself, but that's a different thing entirely. But anyways, let's get into the Roma game quickly. No time to be upset. Have to quickly move on. And disappointing, given that Silva could have easily won the game for us. But we need. There's probably, well, given where Roma are in the table at the moment, it's not a more important game in that sense. But if we want to have any hopes of remaining in the Champions League spots and not dropping back into Europa League spots, a bunch of our players are going to leave if we only get Europa League football next season. So very important. But we're in third. Now officially, if we drop any points, we can, fall down the table. It's disappointing to give Juventus that 10-point lead now. But anyways, it's about 14 days until we face Roma, so let's we'll be back in just a moment, basically. Okay guys, and we're back, and against Roma, hopefully a underperforming Roma that we should really just squeeze that knife in there for a bit. We want to try and help them in their apparent quest to get relegated. So if we defeat them today, Bologna or Chivo, any of these teams really get 3 points, they can climb above them. It'd be a nice way to end that episode as well, of course, but in terms of some changes that we need to make. So Abate is suspended after getting sent off, of course. We pretty much have everyone coming in for all our players. We've got Madrid, Bayern, that you keep chasing Suso in particular, but everyone's gunning for our players, so it's something to be concerned about. And the truth is, its finances are in a poor state right now. I'm just trying to see whether the board are going to do anything about it, whether they're going to invest in the finances, whether Champions League football would help or not. But it might come to a point where I may have to sell some of my stars to try and keep the club, debt-free, I suppose, or not in the red. But anyways, Calabria is in the side. Aaron, I'd love for Ricardo Rodriguez to come back inside. He's, available, not necessarily fit, but he is the first teamer, so we're going to give him the nod. Lucas is in. Montolivo, we'll take him off for Kessie. Is he available yet? Yep. Just barely. We'll put him on the bench and leave Montolivo for another game to try and prove his worth. Suso, Bonaventura is out of form, so let's bring on Hakan, see what he can do. Andre Silva, you're back on the bench after missing a penalty. Still in decent form, Andre Silva, but the truth is Nicola's a better forward, and so it would be, give him that little nod there as well. So tiny tactical tweak, which I mentioned in the last game. Lucas, we don't want him to keep closing down players as much as possible. We want him to just hold his position. Players that, defending part of that midfield duo, I suppose. So just ask him to close down less, see if that helps us from Lucas getting dragged out of position, going into the same area that Montolivo was really being concerned about. And that's kind of it. I think we can get in, hopefully get a nice little easy home win, and really we need all 3 points. More importantly than just sending Roma into the relegation zone is that we need all 3 points to remain in the Champions League spots. So let's try and do that here today, and we're at home. Expectations should be on us, particularly with the way Roma have been playing. Should be an easy win, but football, anything can happen, so let's try and make things happen in our favour rather than theirs. Alright, so I've also forgot to change Montolivo back into central midfield and support. Not only does he like it a bit better, but it's what we're trying to work towards in terms of that role, because we mentioned the box-to-box midfielder roams too much for our liking, and we need him to work side by side really with a deep line playmaker and let just the front trio do their job. Anyways, Roma are very attacking in the early stages, as you can tell. We're trying to get their fullbacks up. We've got already 3 people in the box without even a cross coming in, and they're pushing up their central midfielders quite forward, and they're hoping the defensive midfielder can provide adequate cover. Even though they're playing a 3-man midfield and we're playing 2, I'm not too concerned about trying to hold on to possession. I'm more trying to take advantage of the space in behind the wingers, like we kind of did against Juventus in the early stages. So if we can do that again today, that'd be great. And really with wing backs, they kind of help with the central midfield anyways. Nice little early injury to Lucas just to mess with our plans a bit more, but Locatelli is a very capable backup, I suppose. But let's hope the Roma don't try and exploit that. We should really be doing a bit better than we have done in the early stages. But anyways, Montolivo on the ball, goes back to Calabria, who's overlapped his winger quite well. Got the centre-back spread quite far apart as well. It's quite nice to see. Rodriguez, poor ball from Montolivo in truth, and he should do a bit better there. Wampi, long-range shot that was never going to trouble us, and we'd love for Roma to continue doing that, because that's, we can deal with that all day long. I have to ask my players to work the ball into the box by the looks of this early stages. You'd say Roma would need to do the same thing, but just in terms of how we're playing with our possession, we don't seem too keen on moving Roma about, and there's no real highlights coming up either. It's not nice to see. Nothing creative of note. Looks like my players are still low on confidence after that result against Juve, and we might have to inspire them at half time if we want to have any hopes of seeing an improved performance. Normally I tell my players off at half time if they're not winning the game, because they are favourites, but I think inspiring them might be the better way to go. So let's see if we can do that at half time. I probably should have done that initially. I was a bit demanding in my team talk before the game started, but I thought my players could handle it. Apparently not. Morale's poor. Let's see what we can do. Let's do that. We definitely need to step up in the second half. Players are ready to walk through walls. That seems to have helped, but we need more. So let's add the work ball into the box instruction and see what happens. Khan's there to collect, and his wing backs overlapping him. If he can just find him, maybe Montolivo can. Is he going to go back across? Nope. Alright, that's a better ball, I suppose, to Calabria. Just has to find Suso, and he's done that. If Suso can find Andre. Oh, Nicola instead, actually. I got used to Andre there. Poor cross, though, and Nicola tries to chase the ball down, but it's not enough, and definitely need to see better in the second half. 2 shots across 50 minutes. And just a single one on target as Roma continuously, shoot. It looks like they keep shooting from long range, which is why they've hardly had any shots on target, but we do need to do better. Improving as the game goes on, but Khan's had a poor half. Bring on Bonaventura, see that helps. Nicola's had a quiet game too, but we definitely need to see more from these players if we want any hopes turning this game around. Alright, work ball into box has helped, but not enough. What else can we ask our players to do to improve? I think pass into space seems to be the way to go. Ooh, there's a little highlight before we make that substitution. Let's see what happens. Montolivo. Poor again. His passing's come into question a lot of late. Perotti is going to try and get Roma going. We're supposed to defeat this low on confidence, poor performing Roma side. Instead, they're really questioning our credibility. Juanpi, can we recover from a loss? It doesn't look like we can. Strootman, back out wide to Emerson. Roma trying to move us around, and they're doing it quite well. And come on, you shouldn't be letting him cross. Dzeko, thank God that's over. But we shouldn't be allowing those crosses to come in the first place. Alright then, what else can we change around? Let's bring on Kessie, a very important play for us. Montelivo, we haven't necessarily played too well either, and I think I want to ask my players to pass the space a bit more since we apparently can't create anything of note. But we do need more if we want to beat this Roma side. Alright. I want to see us exploit the flanks a bit more because we looked fairly good doing that. Passes to space. That's kind of it then. Come on, boys. Do we need to go into overload? Let's go into overload for the last 5, but not looking too good attacking wise. Definitely low on confidence. No creative players. No real chances. Yeah, I was about to make one more tactical tweak, but there's 20 seconds left, and unless they can do something here, but not with that throw in, Romanelli has a chance to throw it back into the box. Rodriguez, can you deliver? Bonaventura is a bit freak. Nicola, he's not even really attempting to make that run. That's a bit of a weird decision. Maybe I should have gone for Andre. It looks like Roma have had a clear-cut chance that the game didn't necessarily try to show. That's a bore draw. And a single point is not enough to keep us in. Probably telling my players off would have been the way to go at half time. Alright, poor performance overall in this episode. We've come away in that difficult period that I talked about against Juventus, Napoli and Roma with 2 losses and a draw. That's definitely not title winning credibility or ability, I suppose, credibility, whatever one you want to use. And we're going to have to improve against the rest of the sides in the Serie A if we want any hopes of still remaining in the Champions League spots by the time this season ends. But anyways, that's all for the January fixtures, so we're back for February. In terms of the February fixtures, we've got Sassuolo to about Inter. You'd say the Inter game is the one to look out for, so we'll probably work towards that one. I don't think we showed Inter all season round, and we've only played them once before, of course. It's going to be a huge one. I would assume by then Inter would be further up than 6th. And we may be competing with each other with the Champions League spots. We're away from home as well, so it's a very important game to show. Hopefully by then we're through into the second knockout round of the Europa League, and hopefully picked up some nice little points here against Udinese, Sassuolo, Genoa and Spal. Alright, so that's all for today. So if you did enjoy it, then please do of course hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2018 content. And of course I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always guys, thank you all very much for watching.